back to Hong Kong, and we have several questions for you. First of all, can you tell us about your recent simulation work in Europe, in the factory?
Yeah, I was in the simulator on Monday and Tuesday, so just traveled here yesterday. We always want to do it as close as possible to the race itself, just to keep everything in mind. It was a very challenging circuit on the simulator. We'll see if it's the case once we drive it on Saturday, Sunday. Quite short, lots of corners, but a very long straight, so we should see some good action out there with good overtaking possibilities. All of them are very interesting, but turn one, it's you come close to 200 kph, you have to slow down the car. It's going to be the slowest corner of the circuit, around 40 kph, and then you go back up at above 200 kph, so very long straight. Maybe the most challenging one will be the chicane, so turn 3, 4. It's going to be quite difficult because the walls obviously are not far, and there is some curves. You have to ride the curves to go quick. So clearly, this section could be interesting.
Which corner is best for overtaking?
I think clearly turn 1 and 2, because we have a very long straight before that. So overtaking there will be a good option here. The braking is really to try to recharge the battery, because when we are on the power, we only discharge it, but at some point we have to recharge it, and the FIA has opened the regulation a little bit, so by recharging more, you make the car a little bit more difficult to drive. It's going to be better, that's for sure, but the stability of the car when you brake, it's more on the limit. You may be locking the rear wheels more, making it unstable, especially on a street circuit where you have a lot of bumps. It's not easy to control, so it's going to be a big thing to try to keep everything under control and be quick, as well.
Will you be braking even earlier, or all the braking points changes?
They should not change. Theoretically, it should be transparent, but in some because we try to fine tune it in a way that it's transparent for the driver. But still, it could have some effect, especially if it starts to be wet. It could be slippery, and then we may have to brake earlier.
Can you talk us through strategies? When do you decide to go longer on the first stand and shorter in the second stand? Because as audience, it's quite tough to follow race strategies.
Yes, of course, it depends on many factors. Safety car, crashes, weather, position on the track. But clearly, normally, if you start at the front, you want to go for the quickest strategy. The best one is obviously to stop in the middle, because that's the best way to save energy and the best compromise. But if you are blocked behind someone that you cannot pass, you may think, okay, I'm going to do a lap longer, still follow him, but doing a lap longer, I will have a lot more energy afterwards, and that may give me an opportunity to pass. So it depends on so many factors that it is very difficult to know which strategy you will pick up. But if you're at the front, in general, you always choose the quickest one.